Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG and Arcane Rising Living Room Edition. One more day and then we can be back down in the studio. They'll be done working on my basement. Would love to highlight my collection tracker over on patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. If you're interested in seeing the value of your collection update real time, every time that I do a video like this, you can head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. Gets you access to the collection tracker, also gets you access to 10% off of singles over at midtownmerchant.com. You also get access to box breaks, case breaks, a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of other perks. Our Discord server is a great place to enjoy the game. That being said, head over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG to support the channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into Arcane Rising. Sealed product this week. I wish I could tell you that it was up a lot. In fact, let me go ahead and show you a sold listing for a first edition box here. I wish I could tell you that this is the price, as someone who likes to watch the market move, but unfortunately I can't. So one did sell for $3,500 this week. We also had one sell for $2,500 this week. Interesting that's the same seller, or it's at least the same, looks like the same seller with the pictures. But then on Facebook, we also had some people selling them for around, this is listed for $2,500 for the Arcane Rising boxes here. So, that's kind of where the market is. We'll just leave it at $2,500. You can still get boxes of Unlimited for about $70 on TCG Player. So no change in the boxes, although it does look like a lot of movement on the box prices in terms of a couple of them moving this week at higher price points. But right now you can pick one up for $2,500. Talking about the Fable, the Eye of Ophidia, I think LSS named these right. The Eye of Ophidia doesn't exist. We haven't seen a sold listing for it in almost 2 months. I've been asking everyone I know, I've been saying, hey, do you know of an eye that's sold? And everybody says, no, I can tell you some hearts that sold for $20,000, $22,000, $24,000, $25,000. I can tell you some hearts that sold, but I can't tell you any eyes that sold. So it'd be nice to know an updated price. This number right here is the number that we got to before the kind of print number release. And it's just been completely stagnant over the last couple weeks. The Unlimited Eye, on the other hand, can't figure out when it's going to stop dropping in value. $250. I'll show you on TCG Player right now, where you can pick it up for $250. You can use my promo code and get me some money while you're buying this. But yeah, I have a video, $250. You can see some sold listings here as well. It just seems like this, we're having a hard time figuring out the market on some of these. Like there is sold listings of 320, 260. Somebody says that they bought a cold foil for $555. Good job if you actually get a cold foil eye in the mail for $550. Please send me a message if that was you. I'm guessing that this was just mislabeled and misrepresented. That would be amazing. I'm guessing that did not happen. Anyway, that's where we are on the market right now. Let's take a look at first edition. We'll be flying through this to see what the EV is. Legendaries, simply put, there's nothing sold. There's some stuff on the market, but it's all really a lot higher. What you're seeing is people who are asking for prices that are more like these prices back here in April of like the $3,500 for, whatever. You're not seeing people selling them for like these that get offered at these prices here, right? If you put one up for these prices here, they're getting snapped up pretty quick. Everything that sticks on the market is in like the $3,000 range, other than a skull cap, which I think would probably sell for around $3,000. But so no real sold listings there, no real changes. Your average is at $1,859. Looking at cold foils, a little downward pressure, about 2%. You can see this, this trend line again. We're starting to kind of just balance out. But a little bit downward pressure. I wanted to pop up the Talismanic Lens. You sold this in last week for $350. This week stacked down to $310. Again, the peak of these cards was $565. It'll be interesting to see if we start trending that way, or if we just see a little flat line. Again, on these, the current offered are all a little bit higher than this. We're not seeing it really move much, which is interesting to me. It just seems like the market is still pretty dry. It seems like the market's still pretty bare. and that'll be an interesting take long term. So let's hop in and look at the Majestics. No change, 0%. Or sorry, actually the regular Majestics were up 2.5%. The foil Majestics, really no sold listings. The regular Majestics, a lot of things trading value. You had a Sonic Boom that lost some value, but you had a Command and Conquer that went up in value. Again, no huge changes. You can see Command and Conquer right in there. Your average non-foil is sitting around $57.80. Your average rainbow foil is sitting around $408. So again, no huge changes there on the first edition Majestics. As you're talking about super rares, a lot of the same, up 0.3% on the rainbow foil, just a couple sold listings, a ninth blade that sold for $40. Take a look at this chart, right? You see the growth and then the kind of the static, and this is the day that one seller on eBay offered all of those sold listings, and we tanked all the way down to here, and now we've just kind of flatlined. Interesting to see some sellers popping in and selling at these prices as they look up the last sold on eBay. That's something that definitely affects the market. So very interesting. If you're not looking at historic data like here, you might say, okay, well, the last sold on eBay is this, but really we had a long time of these prices, and it did take us a little bit to get there, but I think these are probably worth a little bit more in terms of, they're probably worth somewhere between here and there rather than just calling them what's worth there. But this is an estimated value. This is kind of looking at the last sold listings. That's what we do in this video. We just like to take the evidence and show it to you. The rainbow foil rares, no huge changes, right? We're down 3%. This is just TCG low. Hardly any of them moving up. It just suggests that nobody's buying these. You do have Plunder Run, one of the more expensive, Eighth Spindle. I don't know how much you can gain from this one this week. The regular rares, Plunder Run Red, the highest value one, you can see we had a little uptick and a downtick, and now we're kind of flatlined at $2. Your average rare is at $1.16. Your average foil rare, if I didn't say it, was $20.65. Rainbow foil commons, your average is $7.27. Again, no huge changes here. I mean, like Salvage Shot, that's probably an outlier. But Fate Foreseen yellow, it's gaining some value. But really your average is not really gaining much. If you look at individual cards, they kind of always just go up and down whenever people buy them, because again, I use TCG low on these rares and commons. But really what you can do with this average is kind of see what's moving, and really nothing's moving from these. Let's take a look at the first edition EV per box. Your true EV includes the common non-foils. That'd be $1,657, which is down just a little bit. If you take out those regular commons, you'd be sitting at $1,478. If you don't want to include the Fable, you'd be sitting at $1,228. And if you take out the Legendary as well, you'd be sitting at $763. So everything's down just like 1 percentage point. It's really, again, like a pretty boring market update in terms of first edition. I want to note here, see how significant the Legendary is. The Legendary is going to be the driving factor for these sets. The Fable too, but I think more in line the Legendary, just because more of them can sell and more people can afford them. The Legendary moving forward, I think, is going to be kind of the deciding factor on the success of a set in Flesh and Blood, simply put, based on the value that it puts in. Sorry, the success of the value of the set, not the success of the gameplay of the set, the success of the value of a set. So let's take a look at Unlimited, see where we're at for Arcane Rising. Speaking of legendaries, everything is tanking, everything's going down. We're down 10%, average of $112. Skullcap holding some value at an average around 6% loss. Grasp the Arcanite losing a ton of value, going down to 97. Really, this is not because the card's not played. Everyone plays Grasp the Arcanite and Chain. The problem is that everyone's opening boxes right now. They're getting boxes cheap, so that's driving single prices down. Skullbone Crossref at 84, Tekla Foundry Heart at 67, and Stormstriders at 58. So you can see kind of the values there. We are down over the last couple weeks. Sorry about my dogs. We're down over the last couple weeks as more and more boxes are entering the market. So looking at your Unlimited Majestics, then the exact same. We're down 12% for the regular, 13% for the rainbow foil. huge trend lines down. You can see we'll pick up Art of War here. This card is played heavily in Chain. Chain's kind of the go-to deck right now that utilizes the Arcane Rising cards. But Art of War and Command and Conquer probably holding their value a little bit better than the other ones. You can see 8% losses, whereas the other ones are in like the 20 to 30% losses. Really opening Arcane Rising right now is Art of War, Command and Conquer, Skullcap, or Bust. Your Grasp is nice too, but really those are the 4 or 5 cards, 3 or 4 or 5 cards that you're looking for. Your average rainbow foil is sitting at $21. Your average regular is sitting at $15, and you can see that gap. It was getting smaller, and now they seem to be moving laterally, but it's still going to just get kind of, this is an interesting thing to watch. Like the gap is just getting a little bit smaller week to week on the difference between rainbow foil and regular pricing. Looking at your super rares, another loss of 10%. It's getting to the point where these can't really lose much more value. They're at under $1 now, which is super interesting. Whereas the rainbow foil ones, they're losing a little bit more, or a little bit, but not more than, or not as much percentage wise. You can see those are flatlining. Chains of Eminence, so super played right now. It's utilized in a lot of decks as sideboard material against a few of the decks really, but against Chain and being one of the main ones. So Chains of Eminence, definitely a card to be looking out for and looking if you're opening boxes, but really that's the only card that you could really be happy about, I think, as a super rare right now. Knock the Death Whistle may be an exception, but your average then is $1.93 or 97 cents, depending on if it's rainbow foil or not. And then your unlimited rares, Plunder Run, still, you know, a card that is utilized, a card that's desired, but it is down 25% this week. Not much going up, just 3 cards moving up. Everything else was losing. This week we're down 10% for an average of 71 cents per rainbow foil. And your regular rares, again, really nothing going up. Plunder Run, your number 1 card. Everything else, kind of still going on. You can see this is a great example of, I think, what's going to happen with the market for unlimited. We had this huge uptick for players buying decks, right? Players buying cards, buying singles, huge uptick. But then we had a huge number of boxes enter the market, and the players kind of got the cards, and now I have a lot of boxes entering the market. Not as many players building new decks. Most people probably already have their deck pretty ironed out, and now they're just maybe buying 1 or 2 cards to change things. And now we've kind of dropped down as a result. And I think this look at Plunder Run, which is one of the more played rares, will be what happens at a smaller scale on a lot of these other cards. Just an opinion, but looking at the rainbow foil commons, averages at 47 cents. Null Rune Boots, you can see holding some value. Still some decent value. Most of it's in the equipment. You also have Fate Foreseen, the red one, providing a decent amount of value. Most of it's going, you know, trending down, but some of it's gaining value as well. All right, let's take a look at the EV then for unlimited. Your true EV, which utilizes the commons. Actually, there's really no difference here between the common one and the non-common one, because the commons are so little right now. But would be sitting at 93 cents, or sorry, $93.12. But if you take out the Fable and the regular commons, you're sitting at $86.87. But here's the kicker: if you don't hit a legendary, you are sitting at $58.87. Now here's the biggest kicker in the whole thing. Do you see how much value that these two contribute? Your Majestics and Legendaries contribute to over 50% of your total EV. So this means that 1 in every 4 boxes, you're going to miss out on 25% of your EV. So if you only open 1 box and you don't hit the Legendary, you're losing out on a ton. Which the chances are. But if you open a Majestic regular, you really have 2 of 10 chances. Now you have a 20% chance of hitting the Command and Conquer or the Art of War. Otherwise, you're losing significant value because the value is so heavily skewed towards Art of War and Command and Conquer. So I think you're risking a lot opening boxes right now. I think you're I do think, like, keep these numbers in mind, like that they can be really, really spiky. Arcane Rising, more than even the other boxes, is a very, very spiky box. You have really big hits and really big misses, which, you know, honestly leads to a fun box opening experience. for some people. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing the value of these cards and utilizing a collection tracker, and you want to support content like this, head on over to patreon.com/KitchenTableTCG. You get access to the collection tracker, access to box openings and breaks and all that stuff. We will be celebrating a big milestone. Also, if you're just watching the videos and you're not a patron, on Friday night, we're going to celebrate hitting 3,500 subscribers. Super excited. We're going to do some box openings, give some stuff away. We'll also do some box openings that we sell. It'll be a lot of fun. Hope to see you there. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and we'll see you again next video.